Escalation.
Maple Filter, I wrote, directed, and edited #NoFilter, but I'm here representing Escalation.
Escalation Nation.
I feel left out. I'm not as cool as you guys. I'll get it. Yeah, please do. Speaking of that, I'm assuming you were influenced by Evil Dead, maybe a little bit. Tell us a little bit about the influence on this project.
Yeah, definitely. I like horror in all its kind of iterations and whatever style. I'm not specific on anything. But yeah, one of my favorite movies and director is Sam Raimi. Evil Dead, the original one, mostly. I enjoy the comedy when it comes to Evil Dead 2 and Under Darkness, but I stick to the original creepy, scary style. And then definitely there is some, Bruce Campbell reference with the hand and his performance. So yes, that's why, they call it like Evil Dead 2 on steroids, some people. So definitely, that was the influence.
I hope you can maybe take over for Bruce Campbell at some point. Speaking about No Filter, as someone that saw a movie called Freaky that played here last year, and as a fan of that, I noticed you had 2 actors from that film. How did they get involved with this project?
I met Nisha, who during the pandemic, we were going to work on another project. He's actually going to be in a feature that I'm doing in May and shooting in Augusta here, actually. They're going to be in the feature. And I met them during that, and I said, hey, look, I wrote this part for you. Would you want to be in this short? And I was having a hard time finding someone to play the lead actress. And he said, well, I can talk to Kelly. I said, great. And then I spoke to Kelly, and then was like, she was very fantastic. She read for the part, and then she was like totally down. The 2 of us ended up shooting it for 3 days. So yeah, just randomly with them, I met Kelly, and through a good friend of mine, they introduced me to Misha.
Now, first of all, I just want to say I hate you. And I mean that in the best of ways. As a filmmaker, seeing all the things you were involved with, from acting to directing to showing your 6-pack abs, every element of this that I'm not able to do, I'm jealous of that. So I'm just saying kudos to that because you pulled off a really great film. So having to wear so many hats in the process of making this film, tell us all any of the issues you ran into just having to do so many things. Because I'm really surprised as someone that early in my career I made short films and they're crappy because I had to do every kind of job. You did all of them, you did them spectacularly. So tell us about all the issues you ran into trying to do everything.
Oh, thank you so much for the love and the hate, love/hate. Yeah, actually, because I used to live in Asia, like doing martial art films and stuff, and this was the first time I wanted to direct and write my own thing. And I shot this in Shanghai, where horror and gore are censored, they cannot be shown on screen. So already to find the crew that would follow me in this trip, it was very hard. As soon as they read horror, as soon as they saw that the blood, they didn't understand why I wanted to do that. And that's why I had to wear so many hats. And it wasn't easy. I mean, to shoot Escalation took me 30 days, so I took a feature film approach. I went on it, all my savings went in. I wanted to leave Asia behind, then move back to the West, start being a horror filmmaker. So I knew there was one shot to showcase what I could do, and so I just went for it. But yes, I couldn't have, the DP, the first DP left, the second one left, the camera guy left after 1 week, so you're crazy. It's a short film, it doesn't need to be so perfect. And I was like, shut the fuck up. He has to be this perfect. It's my fucking movie, I want to make it perfect. So it wasn't easy, and even the practically third person, she refused to help me. She, in 1 day, is like, you don't have enough money, you don't have the right props, I refuse to help you make the scene with the finger. When the finger breaks in the middle, she refused to do the shot in front of the crew, she told me I was an idiot. I didn't get angry, I'm like, you know what? Now Sam Raimi could do this shit in the 80s. Go sleep in the living room. Take a breather. I got this shit done. And when the finger breaks, it's probably the most shocking shot for many people. And you're like, ooh. After I called her back, I showed her the shot. She kept quiet for a while, and then she apologized and said, sorry, I didn't know. No, I figured out I don't know what I was talking about. I'm like, yes, I wanted to tell you, but I didn't want to be an asshole. Now you know. So it was very hard. As a filmmaker, you always have to pull through to the challenges. And I'm a perfectionist, so in the end I like to say, if I fuck something up, at least it's my fault. So, being there and people that didn't really trust me, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking do it myself. And I'm happy it turned out quite okay. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for the love, hate. So that's how it came to be. I'm a stubborn asshole, and I try to do the best that I can.
Just major jealousy in my part.
And I thought a lot because I'm from Italy, so forgive me the cursing of the shit.
You're fine, you're fine. And also with No Filter, I really loved a lot of the cam work, a lot of the lighting and stuff. When it came to creating this project and stuff, do you have a lot of stuff mapped out, or some of it just happened on the set? Because I really love a lot of the kinetic cam work. That actually reminded me a little bit of the Raimian parts as well. There's a really cool spinning shot away from the door, the cool transitions. Tell me about the process and when it came to this story about acclimating the visual style, when everything came together in the final project.
Well, first, thanks for having me here, and I appreciate that, everybody at Renegade, and thank you all for coming out and watching the movies. It takes place in a house in like 3 rooms, so like it could be super boring. So traditional coverage wasn't going to work for me, so I just wanted to keep it interesting. It's like 13 minutes. I feel like it feels like about 9 or 10. But I had mapped everything out. I had been in the house with my DP, and I made a shot list. Definitely things got a little crazy at one point where we had to throw some of the ideas out the window, but we were able to sort of do pretty much, I'd say 90% of what I had in the shot list for each of the scenes. I was inspired by Contact to sort of do the push-in. I was like, how am I going to get from the bathroom into the living room and do it in a way that's actually kind of cool? I just wanted to experiment with a lot of different things because I have done some other stuff. So anyway, I was like, okay, I was looking at transition shots and I thought, let me try to steal that from Contact. And I think it worked pretty well. And the rest of the stuff, it just mainly was, one, to keep it interesting, and 2, to play around with the camera, also just to sort of I didn't want to do traditional coverage at all. And I just tried to push it as far as I could. And a lot of the stuff too was like at the end I couldn't show you his face, so it was like I didn't really have any options. When it came to that, or hers. And there was a lot of time where I had to figure out beforehand what we were going to do with the shot, because I had to place all that information into the shot itself. We're going to put all the effects and stuff in there. And I went through, I'd say 15 iterations of that filter on Kelly's face. Even on the day right before we were going to shoot, I called the guy and I said, you need to fix it, make her eyes bigger and her nose smaller. And he did it in like 2 seconds, uploaded it to Snapchat. And I was like, Kelly, try it on. She tried it on. And, we went through it all. But the crazy thing was we started out shooting with an Arri Mini. And it was too much of a pain in the ass to rig it to do all those shots that I wanted to do. So we used it as a doorstop and ended up shooting everything with like an A7S III because it was in the car. But you guys dude, get the A7S IIIs out with the gimbals and let's just shoot that. As it just wasn't working.